Okay, Fat Guy Flies RC, we're back to you from the man cave again. Let me turn the camera just a touch. All right, we're going to go over setting up your, or really there's no really setup to it, the electronics that come with your Ready to Fly Ailerons Trekker. Now, the Ailerons Trekker controller, you're going to have to install 4 AA batteries. Okay, I'm going to turn it off because I had it on. That beep is every 30 seconds it will give a beep. It's kind of like a timer. Okay, I think it's every 30 seconds or every minute. But anyway, so you got to put four batteries, 4 AA batteries in your transmitter. Okay, transmitter to receiver. Okay, and it's already bound to the airplane, so you don't have to go through that procedure. Now, you're going to have your rudder lead and your elevator lead. That's going to, remember we fished that down through there? When you grab a hold of them, you have a lead. The elevator is going to plug into the second channel, right? See these two pigtails here? This pigtail here? All right. They're not these 2 wires up here. These are your 2 ailerons. They're the only ones that are not labeled. And the pigtail here, the Y, that's already put into your receiver is where you put those ailerons. Right next to that, you're going to take that single lead that says elevator. It's got the elevator tag, and you're going to plug it into that second part of your receiver, that second channel. That's the only channel on this side, that's right here, that's going to be open. And you're going to plug that. And remember, at all radios, I have a fan that doesn't, the light side wire is going to go towards, the polarity is towards the main body of the receiver. So you're going to plug that in, and then you have 2 other single leads coming out. One is labeled rudder, and the other one is your throttle. Okay, and that's already those are already plugged in. So you take your rudder that's from the very back. It's got the little rudder, says rudder on it. Plug that in, and whenever you're plugging 2 leads together, okay, make sure you pay attention to your polarity, light to light, dark to dark. I don't care what kind of servo or what kind of manufacturer it is. It's always light to light, dark to dark. See on my fingers there? See the lights towards the bottom there of my fingers? Light to light, dark to dark. Okay? And then once you have all that plugged in, okay, take your receiver. It says this does not have a gyro or stabilization. This is just a basic airplane. Okay? This is just to get you in the hobby. You're going to get a 1300 milliamp 3S battery. And like I said, it's already bound to the aircraft. The transmitter that you get is already bound to it. Okay? Anytime you got them all together, and since it's already bound, you're always turn your transmitter on first. Okay? Take your battery. I've already put the Velcro on the back of the battery. Okay? I'm going to plug the battery in. Lay that in there. And I'm going to put the battery in the farthest forward compartment towards the front. Plug your battery in. Same thing, light to light, dark to dark. So the red and the black are always going to line up with each other. Now be careful. I know we've got the prop on, but remember, this doesn't, which I don't agree with. I think especially a beginner plane, they should have a throttle cut. But they don't have a throttle cut. They just don't. All right? Now, ailerons work. Rudder works. Let me back up just a little bit so you can see the nose there. You can see. All right. Now, but the only control surface, they get beeped, is the elevator is not doing anything. I purposely left that undone so that I can show you how to do that. So the rest of it's already done for you. Okay, if you look, let me move the camera in. Okay, see right there? Very bottom of the very bottom hole. Okay, we're going to slide this fuel tubing back. Okay, now I suggest I like a lot of elevators, so I'm going to put it in the very bottom hole. That should just dangle like that. And then on the control arm, the control arm to control the surface, you're going to put it, now for a beginner, I would put it on the very bottom one. Now I like to have a lot of elevator, so I'm going to put it on the very top. That way I'll get the most deflection. But that's not going to fit. It's going to see it's hanging out too long there. So what I have to do is turn this clevis. This part here, this white part, has to be screwed up onto the shaft. In other words, it'll make it shorter. So right to tight, left to loose. Right's going to make it shorter. Okay. So let me go ahead and just tighten it up. All right, now that looks pretty level. All right, clamp that in place. Pull that fuel tubing back up over the control surface there. All right, and now, oh, that's a servo. And now look, see, I now have a working elevator. Okay, now, so I've got elevator, aileron, and I got rudder. Okay, also, obviously, I got throttle. Now, I don't condone keeping the prop on in the shop. It's a good way to get yourself cut. But to show you what this is supposed to look like when you're done, that's why I did it. Now, I guess that's a 1 minute timer. If you find that everything looks nice and trim, okay, everything is lined up, all your control surface seems to be lined up really well. So I don't think we're having trim issues. But if you did, if you found that the elevator, like it's wanting to climb too much, or it's going to dive too much, or the elevator is sitting kind of up, you can adjust the trim up or down. This is called sub trim on your elevator, ailerons, and your rudder. So really, I don't probably, because it looks good to me, I don't think we're going to have an issue. So that's, well, actually, that's the trim there. I really don't. Oh, that's I am so sorry. That's to reverse that is all to reverse the direction. But this is all going right. These little tabs here are your trim. If you get your aileron out of trim, your rudder out of trim, your throttle, whatever. Now, these up here, these, if you had self-leveling, like this one doesn't, this would be for your 3 levels. And this over here, I have no idea what that is for. I think maybe it's to bind the transmitter. It doesn't say. This is just a generic transmitter to go with a plane. So, but there again, that's what this is for. This is just a basic, low cost. Give them everything they need minus the batteries for the transmitter to get them to where they can fly. There is no gyro in this plane. Okay, there's no gyro. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. HobbyZone, you may get mad at me. But I know this plane will fly just fine with this transmitter. I have flown my first Trekker with this transmitter on its maiden. But like every musician or pro mechanic or whatever, you have a favorite tool. A musician has his violin or his guitar. That's his main guitar. Now, he could pick up any guitar and play it. The violinist could pick up any violin and play it, but they've got their one main instrument that they want to use, okay? When I'm at the field and say, hey, can you trim someone at the field, hey, we trim my plane, and they hand me their transmitter, it's like using someone else's toothbrush. It's like, okay, it doesn't feel right in my hands. I'm not, I will fly this plane. I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm going to do the maiden on it with this to show that everything you get in the box, minus adding the thing, you can fly and get in the hobby, and I will fly it with this. But after that flight, I'm yanking out that receiver. I'm going to not use this, and I'm going to put my own Spectrum receiver in and fly it on my NX10 because that's what I'm used to. I'm used to use it. And if you spend any time in the hobby, you need to invest yourself in your own transmitter. Now, before I got my NX10, I had my good old trusty DX9. But this is where your main money is. Your batteries and your transmitter. That's where you put your investment. Okay? Planes are going to come and go, but you're going to keep your transmitter for a long time. So, if you're going to get in the hobby, transmitter is where your first big investment is your transmitter. All right, and get a good one. I don't care if you get Futaba, Fire Ski, whatever. Get one that's, can control more, at least 10 models or more. Gives you room to expand and get at least 6 channels or more. But that's a whole different subject. As far as this plane goes, this setup, this radio fly setup, she's ready to go. And it's a solid plane. It's an easy to fly plane. Very forgiving. Shouldn't have any problem. Take off the wind, land in the wind. Good little plane. And she got some pep to her. She's got some pep. I have proven that. So, all right. Well, thank you for watching. Big shout out to HobbyZone for sending this out to me. And we'll see you in the skies. Don't forget, faith, family, and friends. And then planes. Bye-bye. We'll see you at the field, actually, not in the skies. But